In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get all the images in a folder, or really any file type that you need. It can be PDFs, CSVs, TXTs, and so on. Basically, any extension that you want to target, you can get this way. Most people are looking for images, but you can use it with anything. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get all the files in your target folder into a list. So let's go ahead and do that. So Ubot has this get files function that's built in, and you can just use this, choose the folder, and then choose include path because you're typically going to want the entire path. So just hit OK. Expand that so you can see it. I'm going to get rid of this real quick. So I'm just going to run this so we can have a brief look at the files. And in this folder, we have a bunch of different files, and I'm going to be targeting basically the images, so the PNG files, and we'll also target the PSD files as well at one point, so we can look at how to target multiple extensions at the same time. So from here, there's a number of things you can do. First, I'll show you how to target one extension, and then multiple extensions, and then one more way after that as well. So to get one extension, you can use the ends with function. However, this does require you to be subscribed to Ubot updates. But don't worry about that because if you're not, I will show you another way to do it in just a minute. But first, let's have a look at that way. So you're going to want to loop for your list total of files. And then you're going to want to set a variable for the next list item in the list. And this is going to be for all the ways you do it. So regardless if you want one or more extensions, you're always going to do this. Now after that, if you want to target one extension only and you're subscribed to updates, you can do it this way. I'm just going to use an if then statement, and I'm just going to say if it ends with, I'm going to choose an extension. First I'm going to copy my file variable in here, then I'm going to choose .png, hit OK, and if it does, we're just going to alert that file so that we can see it. Now generally, you'd probably add this to another list or do whatever you need to do with it, upload it to a website. But in this case, we're just going to keep it simple and we're just going to alert the path of the file. So I'm going to hit run. And as you can see, we do have this .png, and I'm going to hit OK. And we have yet another one. Hit OK, hit OK, hit OK. And there you go. So all of our files ended with the .png, which makes sense. So that's one way to do it. However, it does require you to be subscribed to Ubot updates. The next way is to use a find regular expression. And this can target one or more extensions. And what's nice is you also don't have to be subscribed to Ubot updates. So let's see what that looks like. We're going to change this to be an if comparison. And in this comparison, we want to do a find regular expression. And the text that we want to look at for the regular expression is going to be our file variable. And the regular expression that we're going to use is the following. We're going to do a backslash and then a period. We're then going to do an open parenthesis. We're going to type the extension that we want, a close parenthesis, and then a $sign. And I'll go over that in just a second, but first I'm going to hit OK. And then the condition is does not equal, and then there's a function in Ubot called nothing. And I'll explain what's going on in just a second. But first, let's give this a quick run to ensure that it's working. I'll open it all up there so that you can see it and hit run. and we do get the .png there. Let's make sure we're not getting anything else. Okay. All right, so what's going on here? We're basically telling Ubot to look at the file variable, which is going to loop. It's going to loop through the list. It's going to look at every single one of these. It's going to say, look at that, and if a regular expression matches something, then in our case, we're alerting the file. However, you would do whatever you need to do with it, add it to a list, upload it, do whatever. And if our regular expression does not find a match, then don't do anything. So the only way that we're going to get nothing here is if our regular expression does not find something. However, if it finds something, then of course the value is not going to equal nothing because something will be found. So in this case, our regular expression finds .png, which doesn't equal nothing, and therefore it alerts the file. However, if it was, say, a .psd, in this case, it would find nothing because our regular expression does not match. And because it found nothing, it just jumps down to this else statement. So what is the regular expression? The regular expression is, one more time, it is \, open parentheses, then the file name you want, and I'll show you how to do multiple in a second, close parentheses and a $sign. This is saying, the \ period is saying we explicitly want to see a period. So there must be a period there. If you don't put the \, then the period will stand for any character. So you must put a \ when you want to explicitly see a period. The open parenthesis and the close parentheses are going to allow us to add multiple extensions, which we'll do in just a second. But for now, there's only the PNG, so it's only looking for that. And the $symbol says that it's the end of the, in this case, variable, or it could be line or other things like that. But basically, it's the end of what we're looking at. So we want to make sure that the last thing is this statement, in this case, a .png. And then after that, we don't want to see anything. If there's a .png in the middle of the file, this will not match because that's not what we want. We want it to be at the very end because it's a file extension. So how do we make it target multiple extensions? Well, we can edit this, and after the PNG, we can put a vertical bar, which is it's a straight up and down pipe. But basically you want to type the vertical bar and then any other extension you want. So I want to target a PNG or a PSD. So that vertical bar is saying or. When it's enclosed in those parentheses like that, it's saying give me this or give me that. Now, if you want to add more extensions, you just add another vertical bar and you type whatever other extension you want. You know, I could do stuff like that. This will target PNG, PSD, EXE, or TIFF. In this case, I only want to look for PNG and PSD. So let's go ahead and look at that. Now when I run this, it should alert any file in that folder which has PNG or PSD. So let's go ahead and hit run. We get the Elite Botters logo.png. And then we get the Elite Botters logo.psd. We get the Elite Botters logo big PNG and the PSD. And you'll see a common theme. Basically for every PNG, I have a Photoshop file that I made it with. Okay, so that looks like it's working as expected. So for most people, this is going to be how you do it. However, I want to show you one more way. In case you have Eamon's file management plugin, which is available for free on the forums, you can do it this way. That plugin will add a new extension under the file functions. It will add this get extension. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. Find regular expression. Instead, let's say get extension. And the file path will be to the file. And now we will say if it equals PNG, in this case, then alert the file. So let's go ahead and run that. And I forgot the period, of course. So if it equals .png, then alert the file. And so there we go. There's the first PNG, there's the second, and all of the files are alerted. Now you can add your extensions to a list. So I could create a list somewhere. I'm not going to do it now, but basically you create a new list. You add a list to a list, and then you can add all the different extensions. You can then loop through that list, and you can use this get extension function to check it against that list. If any of them are on that list, you can then do whatever you want. I guess if anybody needs to really see that drawn out for them, I could make another video, but for now I wanted to keep this one short and sweet. So that's 3 different ways I showed you how you can find any of the files that you want in a folder and add them to a list. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.